Donald Don Knotts was born July 21, 1924 in Morgantown, West Virginia. Knotts' father suffered from hysterical blindness and a nervous collapse before Don was born, and only left his bed thereafter during brief moments when he would terrorize his young son with a knife. In many ways, it was a blessing for the 13-year-old Knotts when his father passed away. Raised during the Depression, Knotts' mother took in boarders to make ends meet. He found a father figure in his older brother Shadow. Tragically, Shadow succumbed to asthma in 1941. As a young preteen, Knotts took up ventriloquism and started performing around town.
I had become a ventriloquist when I was in junior high school. Somebody asked me to come to a party and entertain, and I did. They took up a collection. I got almost $1 and change. I thought, oh, I'm on my way.
After graduating from high school, the popular boy left West Virginia to seek fame in the Big Apple, but returned home a few months later. From there, Knotts joined the U.S. Army, where he and his dummy, Danny, entertained the troops as part of a GI variety show called Stars and Gripes. However, after growing jealous of the attention Danny received, Knotts gave him the heave-ho.
And one night I left Danny on a beach when we left and reported him missing in action.
Upon leaving the Army in 1948, Knotts went to college, where he met and married his first wife, Kay Metz, with whom he would go on to have 2 children before divorcing in 1969. Soon after graduating college, Knotts decided to give New York City one more try. He rang up an Army buddy who helped secure him a deal with talent agency William Morris, and he began starring on radio programs and a small role on a soap opera. In 1955, Knotts made his Broadway debut in the hit comedy No Time for Sergeants, in which he worked for the first time with Andy Griffith. The two got along grandly and would become lifelong friends.
I didn't know who he was. I was very impressed with Andy when I heard him read. I thought he was great.
That same year, Knotts landed a regular spot on The Steve Allen Show, making a name for himself in his role as the nervous man.
My name is D.D. Morrison, and I'm a bodyguard for Vice President Nixon.
Well, it's nice to have you here, Mr. D.D. By the way, what's the D.D. for?
Duck Dick.
It came out partly out of a dream, although I had seen a guy trying to make a speech real nervous. It struck me funny. That's how I came by it.
When the show moved to Hollywood in 1959, Knotts and his family moved there as well. In 1960, Knotts learned that his friend Andy Griffith would be filming a pilot for The Andy Griffith Show. He reached out to Griffith, offering to play a part on the show, and was soon cast as Barney Fife, the bumbling, bug-eyed deputy who was full of swagger and short on common sense.
Now, do you want to be known as a yellow-bellied chicken?
Oh, I don't mind.
Shut up, mister. Now, put that down! Gomer. Settle down, Gomer! Oh, let's shape up.
The show became a huge hit and would run from 1960 to 1968.
We worked hand in glove alike. Our timing was alike. I could almost tell when Andy was going to come in, and he said he could do the same with me. I could see sometimes in Andy's eyes that he was trying to keep from laughing.
Shall.
An officer of the law shall
Enforce. The law.
the law
And order.
and order
Without
without regard
to personal. Welfare. And safety.
and safety.
Pretty good. You want to go over it again? You think you got it?
I got it.
Knotts would receive his first Emmy Award for his portrayal of what would become one of television's most beloved characters.
I don't know what to say. All my life I've been a prepared loser. I do want to say a very sincere thanks to the Academy and to the members of the entire Griffith Company, and particularly to a very, very wonderful man, Andy Griffith himself. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Due to the success of the show, Knotts began receiving offers to act in films. He made a cameo appearance in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World and starred in The Incredible Mr. Limpet, a novel film that combined animation with real-life actors.
More than anything, I wish I could be one of you. right now. I wish I were a fish.
In 1965, believing the Andy Griffith Show was coming to an end, Knotts decided to leave and dedicate himself to motion pictures.
I left because Andy had said he would never do the show longer than 5 years. And during the 5th season, I thought, geez, I better start looking around. And I wound up getting an offer from Universal to do movies. And then Andy suddenly said he was going to stay on another 2 or 3 years. It was a tough time for me because I enjoyed the Griffith Show so much that I hated to leave.
While he made his official exit that year, he would return on occasion for special guest appearances and even win 2 more Emmy Awards. In 1975, Knotts teamed up with Tim Conway to star in a series of successful children's films about a gang of inept cowboys.
Why didn't you tell me my rear end was on fire?
Well, you told me not to do anything to attract attention.
Okay.
In 1979, Knotts again struck television gold when he was cast as the ridiculous Mr. Furley on the hit series Three's Company.
It was a very broad comedy show, lots of broad jokes, lots of physical humor. And John Ritter is a great physical comedian, could do great falls.
He remained on the show until 1984. In 1986 and 1988, Knotts would rejoin his old friend Andy Griffith, for the first time to reprise his role as Barney Fife in Return to Mayberry.
It's no time for talk, it's time for action. This is no floating log. This is a menace, and we're going to attack it. Fine, Andy.
And the second for an appearance on Griffith's successful series, Matlock.
Oh, Les, I don't think...
Oh, come on, Ben. Slow motion. Ha!
Huh?
Karate. Ha!
During his later years, Knotts, who always considered himself frail and sickly, developed macular degeneration, a progressive eye disease that can lead to blindness. The stress of his illness contributed in part to the dissolution of his second marriage. Regardless, the hardworking actor continued to appear in film and television roles, including a standout part in the movie Pleasantville. However, on February 24, 2006, after a half-century of making audiences laugh and love him, Don Knotts passed away of lung cancer, with his friend Andy Griffith at his side.
Don was a lovely, funny man who wanted people to laugh and wanted people to enjoy life.
Knotts was buried at Westwood Memorial Park in Los Angeles, California. His tombstone describes the essence of Knotts' acting ability, stating, "He saw the poignancy in people's pride and pain and turned it into something hilarious and endearing."
Hear the wind blow. Give my heart ease, dear. Give my heart ease. Throw your arms round me. Give my heart ease. Angels in heaven know I love you. Know I love you, dear. Know I love you. Angels in heaven know I love you.
Please don't forget to like this video and to subscribe.